Hello and welcome to my channel, KTRT bot review time. Now if you go back over my channel last year, you'll obviously have seen I reviewed this thing, which is from Turning Mecard line. This is Mini Evan, and he's one of the mini series bots they released, or some of the characters from the series. And this is obviously from a sub-line called the mini line, but there is the HG figures, the larger ones. And I also picked up HG Terro and HG Phoenix, and this transforms into like a green dragon, this transforms into like a big sort of phoenix type bird of prey thingamajig. But they both have, as you can see, virtually identical car modes apart from the colours, and yet they transform into two totally different things. Now these are these are two of the figures from the first wave of the Turning Mecard HG line. But there was one other figure, and it's a bigger version of this guy, but I hadn't actually gone ahead and got him. I mean, I did plan to get him, but later in the year, but then something else cropped up that I wanted to get. I think it was that Geomecha Beast Guardian Cayman thing. I think that's what turned my head. Anyway, I overlooked it and got other things. But now that I've moved into 2017, and my usual source of KTRT bots, which is the Hello Carbot line from Sonocon, which is the same company that makes the Turning Mecard toys, they seem to have, again, I've gone off Hello Carbots a little bit because obviously they've got a new series come out, season 5, and they've released some new bots, and some of the figures look interesting, but they've got these stupid, ridiculous, over-the-top combiners which look really stupid and ugly, and I can't be bothered to buy them. Anyway, so I'm looking a bit further afield for my KTRT hit, and going back on looking at other figures that I've since overlooked, and I thought, well, there's still that figure from the HG line, wave 1 that I haven't got. So now, here he is. So this is HG Evan. As you can see, he's a big blue coupe sporty car. And he's a different design to the other ones, but similar sort of thing. He's the same sort of size, same sort of, roughly the same basic shape, just a different design, different stylings. It's got different design wheels, different grills, different lights, and then the styling things are different on the side. So it's not exactly the same, but it is basically a similar sort of thing. It's a coupe type car, and obviously you get all three of them up. You can see, they're all kind of much of a muchness, and I quite like that. Especially with these two, the fact that they're two identical cars, but they both transform into different things because they're engineered differently. Same can be said for Evan. Obviously, he's, like I say, he's a very shiny blue car. He's got a black window, he's got a black grille, he's got transparent lights in the front, painted lights in the back. He's got blue painted wheels. The wheels are quite large. They're pinned. They do roll extremely well. Obviously, bit of scrunched up robot kibble underneath. But it's a very solid, chunky, shiny car. A great toy. Good weight to it. Obviously, I haven't got this in car mode to do the size comparison in car mode, but I just wanted to have him ready, for later. So yeah, there he is. He's a decent car. Transforming this guy is, well, it's a thing you can do. Now, I suppose you can start by pulling open the roof. Then you separate these bits on the rear, and then just move them out to the sides for now. Then you can pull up the cockpit. Then you can pull out the arms to the side. you move those around like this, fold them down, fold them up. Got the fists, which you fold outwards. You then bring out the arms, like so, and then there's these bits here which you sort of fold back slightly. That's kind of the top end done, mostly. Moving down to the legs. Now you've got the hips. Kind of want to move the hips back a couple of clicks. Separate the legs. Then you've got these wing bits, which pull back and then have a detent where they click into place. So it pulls back and then it clicks into place. Then you get the foot, and you pull the foot down. Now it's on this this white link, which is it's got it's a double-ended rotation hinge link, and you bring it down. And then that's that. And then finally, flip forward the chest plate, flip up the head, shut that, and there we have Evan, HG Evan, in his robot mode. And he's pretty chunky. Now, quick size comparison with the little mini dude, and as you can see, he's quite a bit bigger. I mean, this guy is is he a deluxe or a Voyager? Let's have a look. I think he's slightly bigger than a deluxe figure. Let's do some proper size comparisons. Let's have a look on my shelf up above. I haven't really got any Voyagers to hand at the moment. Let's get Skybite down. So there you go, there he is next to Generations Skybite. And as you can see, he's a bit smaller than Skybite, because I'm not reviewing this thing, because I've already reviewed this thing. Deluxe figure, there he is next to RID Megatronus. So yeah, he's sort of like a large deluxe, but it's not this guy we're reviewing, it's his bigger cousin. Now, this guy, obviously, put him next to Skybite, and he's quite a bit bigger. And then, obviously, next to Megatronus. He's quite large. He's more ultra scale. Don't fall over. And the ultra class bot that I've got to hand is Universe Onslaught, and he's about the same size as Universe Onslaught. So he's quite large. He's not quite as big as some of the other KTRT bots I've got, because they're a solid leader class size. And yeah, but he's very colourful, again, very chunky. Articulation, his head is on a ball joint, so it's got a decent amount of rock, and it's on this hinged plate, so you can get a little bit extra up and down motion, but it's got a decent amount of waggle. The shoulders are on these double hinge links. Now they go all the way around on a ratchet. You can go up and down on that, and it can go out that far before it starts clouting stuff. No bicep swivels. Here's a KTRT. They don't do bicep swivels. It's got an elbow that goes to 90 degrees. The fist is on a joint that can hinge inwards. Nothing at the waist. Hips. Let's move this out of the way. Hips go out that far, and as you can see, he's got quite a heavy leg, and it's a friction joint. You probably could tighten up the screw. That one's a bit better. Does have 5 swivels. Now, Then now we've got a little bit of a problem on this guy. His knees. Now you cannot fully straighten his legs. His legs go to about that far. You cannot straighten them because the knee joint has got to stop there. So his knees are always bent. And this does give you posing problems in robot mode. Because you can't fully straighten his legs, it can be difficult to get him to, you know, in a decent standing pose. There is some adjustment in the foot. There's a little bit of foot movement, but the knees go back to 90 degrees, but they don't quite go to the horizontal, the 180. So there is that. So he's okay poseability. His legs are a bit awkward. I mean, he's got this flap on the back which is hinged, and you can just move it to wherever you want it. I mean, articulation wise compared to the little one, they're about the same. They've got the same number of joints. The legs on this guy are a little bit straighter, a little bit easier to work with than the legs on this guy. But this guy's got clearance issues with his elbows, whereas this guy hasn't. Also, that guy's got like a turtle shell backpack, and this guy, his all folds up, kinda. So, yeah, he's all right, and I'm glad I got him. But there was another reason why I wanted to get this, as well as, you know. Well, I mean, when you look at the reasons why I wanted to get this, I mean, one, I wanted to complete the Wave 1 HG line from Turning Mecard, so I've done that. Two, I wanted to get him as a size comparison with this figure. So it's the same character, two different size classes. And the third one is I want to do a comparison with another figure that I've bought. And this is also a toy from Sonocon, so it's from the same company yet again. And it's another blue robot, and it's Mini-Force Voltbot. Now I wanted to do a comparison with these two, because I think they kind of look similar. They are from two totally different lines. I mean, size wise they're about the same, but they've got, you know, styling cues that are very similar. I mean, they've both got like a huge gem in the middle of the chest. They've both got large shoulder pauldrons. The legs are done totally differently. On this one they're back to front, and this one they're front to back. But I think they do kind of complement each other, even though the general stylings and detailings on this guy is a lot more going on. This guy's quite simple, whereas this guy's, you know, got a lot more angles and details going on. But it's a very interesting bot. So it was good to do a comparison between those two. So yeah, there he is, Turning Mecard HG Evan. He's very blue, he's very chunky. Slight posing difficulties with the legs, the fact they don't go to 180 degrees on the knees, but it's one of those things, you can sort of compensate for it. He looks suitably tough and hard. He's got these really big chunky fists. He looks like he could do some damage. I haven't really watched many episodes of the TV show. I mean, obviously, they have these kids. They have these little tiny cars that follow them around. These that can talk and move independently. And then when they get into a battle, they get transported to this ultimate dimension where they have these battles and they have the cards. And in the game, you have the little card, you put it on the ground, you roll the car over it, and there's a magnet in the card, and the mech card, well, the figure just springs open, flips the card up, and then you just read. There's these 3 attributes on the card. You read the number, and then it's kind of like tic-tac-toe. It's like 3 different attributes, and, you know, 2 players, 3 rounds. Whoever wins 2 rounds wins the game. It's all that sort of stuff, but. Obviously, in the show, when they get into a battle, you know, the characters transform into these huge beasts and robots, and that's what Evan is. And Evan is the main sort of, one of the main characters from the show. Hence the reason why they've done multiple toys of him. So yeah, that's that. It's been my review of Turning Mecard HG Evan. He's a pretty good little bot. I'm glad I got him, and he goes well with my collection. So that's been me, TFR Wilderness, another KTRT review today. Hope you've enjoyed it. I've got another one incoming, hopefully, which will arrive before the end of the month. So look forward to that arriving, and I will review it as soon as it comes in. And that's all I got to say today. I will catch you all later. Ta-da.